But you don't succeed.
Good morning. How are you this lovely Saturday morning? It's February 24th. Welcome to the Portal Podcast with Bob Colbert. I'm your host, Bob Colbert, and this will be episode 16 of 20. So we're fastly approaching the end of this series on the Roman Forum. I hope you enjoyed it. Really could use some assistance on maybe what show next. Otherwise, I've got some ideas percolating in my head. And so, if you remember from last week, we did the Basilica of Maxentius. I'll show a picture of that right there. So the reason I'm showing this again, actually, is the Basilica of Maxentius and Constantine. So this building's on the northern aisle, is all that remains of this, and it's on the northeastern side of the Roman Forum complex area. So this building happens to be to the right of the Arch of Septimius and Severus, and we'll be showing that today. But the video that we normally watch is kind of bleeds over into some additional information on the Basilica of Maxentius, so that's why I'm showing this. And so, so let me go ahead. Oh, and this was a 3D image in the heyday. The Basilica of Maxentius and Constantine is kind of what it looked like, if you remember from last week. So, yeah. So today we're going to be looking at the Arch of Septimius Severus. And here it is. To the right of that is the Basilica of Maxentius. And I'll show a wide angle view. Whoops. I'll show a wide angle view of that. And there we go. So this is to the right is the Basilica of Maxentius. And if you notice to the left, there's an archway there, and that's the Arch of Septimius Severus. So yeah, so that's what we're going to be looking at today. So, but prior to that, to the reading, let's go ahead and do our video for today so that you're on top of it.
Containing a colossal statue of Constantine. The lateral forces of the groin vaults were held by flanking aisles measuring 23 by 17 meters. The aisles were spanned by 3 semicircular barrel vaults, perpendicular to the nave, and narrow arcades ran along parallel to the nave beneath the barrel vaults. The Arch of Septimius Severus at the northwest end of the Roman Forum is a white marble triumphal arch, dedicated in 203 AD to commemorate the Parthian victories of Emperor Septimius Severus and his 2 sons, Caracalla and Geta, in the 2 campaigns against the Parthians, of 194 to 95 AD and 197 to 199. After the death of Septimius Severus, the sons Caracalla and Geta were initially joint emperors. Caracalla had Geta assassinated in 212, and Geta's memorials were destroyed.
All right, so let's go ahead and do our reading on this, and let me put the image up, sorry, so that you have a reference point. So this is what we're talking about, the archway of Septimius Severus. So the Arch of Septimius Severus, and in Italian it's Arco di Settimio Severo, at the northwestern end of the Roman Forum. I may have said northeastern on the while ago. Sorry about that. Northwestern end of the Roman Forum is a white marble. Doesn't look that white to me right now, but yeah, it's a white marble triumphal arch dedicated in the year 203 AD to commemorate the Parthian victories of Emperor Septimius Severus and his two sons, Caracalla and Geta, in the two campaigns against the Parthians of 194 to 195 and 197 to 199 AD. After the death of Septimius Severus, his sons Caracalla and Geta were initially joint emperors. Caracalla had Geta assassinated in the year 212 AD. In the practice now known as Demonio Memoriae, Geta's memorials were destroyed, and all images or mentions of him were removed from public buildings and monuments. Accordingly, Geta's image and inscriptions referring to him were removed from the arch. The Severan dynasty were great builders of triumphal and honorary arches, especially in the Eastern Empire. The Arch of Septimius Severus in the emperor's hometown of Leptis Magna, Libya, was built in the same year. The monumental Arch of Palmyra is also sometimes called the Arch of Septimius Severus. Description of it. The arch was raised on a travertine base, originally approached by steps from the forum's ancient level. The central archway, spanned by a richly coffered semicircular vault, has lateral openings to each side of the archway, a feature copied in many early modern triumphal arches. The arch is about 23 meters in height, 25 meters in width. The arch bears two sets of reliefs. The first set includes 4 large panels on each base of the attic, and the second set consists of 8 panels that are set into the interface of the 4 archways. The 3 archways rest on piers or piers, which are composite columns on pedestals. Winged victories are carved into the relief in the spandrels. A staircase in the south pier leads to the top of the monument. Previously, the top of the arch had statues of the emperor and his 2 sons in a 4-horse chariot accompanied by soldiers. The master architect is unknown, but he worked with a skilled level that allowed him to create the arch in quick and traditional manner. Although traditional with columns and piers and cornices, the style in which the architect shows the effects of texture and the prominent and versatile planes shows a hint of deviation from the classical styles of previous. According to the scholar Richard Brilliant, I guess he's brilliant, the variety of styles shown on the arch signified that many different workshops and sculptures were involved. This was a typical way to have the commission completed quickly. Brilliant made this conclusion by identifying how the same models for the motifs have very small difference throughout the reliefs. Even individual sections, such as the panels, middle reliefs, and the column pedestals, have distinctive techniques or styles that must have come from separate artists. The differences in styles are not that drastic as to stick out, but they are enough that an expert can identify the shift in the style. The arch also has some sections that are more detailed than the others, indicating more time was spent on them, which is normal when different sculptors in workshop work on the same object. Those who worked on the arch were taught in the Antonine style, which was known at the time for its rich ornamentation and use of Proconnesian marble. To help add additional depth to the arch, the shadows of the facade or facade are deepened with columns and 3D light cornices. The facade is created in Tetra style, where the four columns are used to create a porch. The Tetra style facade, and the Severus Septimius arch is only an illusion, as it does not have a deep porch-like space behind the columns. Again, the marbles of the arch was mostly made of travertine and marble. It was mixed in with concrete and brick. Preconnesian marble was used for the columns, pentatelic marble for the masonry, Luna marble for the greater relief columns. The marble blocks were precisely cut in a format that made the shapes of each block rectangular. Each block, whether horizontal or vertical, is fitted very closely together, and it's unclear how this would be possible without taking the arch apart. It was believed that the blocks of marble were cut while they were still on the ground. To avoid damage to ornamentation, the details were roughly made while on the ground and were later perfected and detailed once the blocks were in the proper placement. Most of the arch must have been pre-planned in design and careful alignment before it was put into its final place. The fine details in construction show that this monument was made by some of the best professionals of the time. Since the art was created with the purpose of acting as a show of victory and imperialistic propaganda, the ornamentation was essential and specific. The art shows the vertical elevation that is common in Roman canon of decoration and how the designer added horizontal accents. The decorations of the attic were meant to show the achievements of the imperial family. Evidence from Severan coins showed that although no longer standing, the top of the attic used to have a chariot pulled by 6 horses, 2 riders, made of gilded bronze. These sculptures were most likely acted as trophy bearers. The attic was designed to be decoratively framed. The inscription on the arch, this is evident through the gilding and sizing of the letters, because the letters were gilded. The reflection of them during the sunny day would have made the sentences hard to read, but they would have been legible in the afternoon. The dowel holes on the base of the attic shows that there used to be some sort of a metal ornament attached, most likely in the form of a floral trophy symbol. The attic has cornices with insemination with a rosette around the inscription, and there's a double molding with an anthocus bands as well. The art uses the style that was common in imperial architecture, used typically with the Corinthian columns. Okay, enough on that. So we'll close that. And then what we'll do is show, again, let me close this and just, here's the arch right there. It's on the northwestern side. The Sea of Afra Road was on, and I'll go on the map in just a second. In fact, let me go ahead and do that. Turn it out. Must not have put it on there. One moment. Interesting. It's not showing. Oh well. Sorry about that. Well, okay. Let me move on to close that. Oh, there it is. Sure. I don't know what the problem was there. So this is the Via Sacra Road on the left side, the Via del Fori Imperelia on the right. On the bottom right is the Colosseum, and then on the opposite side is the Arch of Septimius Severus. And so if we go back and look at that big image, oops. There, and hide that one. So yeah, so that was the roads on each side of this. So yeah. So now let's kind of go talk about the emperor. All right, and there's two of these. So yeah, so here's the bust of Septimius Severus, emperor. This is Roman alabaster. It's a marble bust of Septimius Severus, and it's located in Musae, Capitolina, Rome. His reign was from April 9, 193 AD to 4 February 211. So that's quite a spell. His predecessor was Emperor Didius Julianus, and his successors are his sons, Caracalla and Geta. Of course, I believe Geta was killed, assassinated. He was born Lucius Septimius Severus in 11 April 145. He died in 4 February 211. He was age 65, and I guess died in Arboricum, Britain. Spouses were Passius Marciana, 175. She died 186, and Julia Domina in 187 married. His children were Caracalla and Geta. Okay. His father was Publius Septimius Geta. His mother was Fulvia Pia. All right. After let's see. As a young man, Emperor Severus, he advanced through the customary succession of offices under the reigns of Marcus Aurelius and Commodus. Severus seized power after the death of Emperor Pertinax in 193 during the year of the five emperors. After deposing and killing the incumbent emperor, Didius Julianus, Severus fought his rival claimants. The Roman generals Pescennius Niger and Clodius Albinus. Niger was defeated in 194 AD at the Battle of Issus in Sicilia. Later that year, Severus waged a short punitive campaign beyond the eastern frontier, annexing the kingdom of Osroene as a new province. Severus defeated Albinus 3 years later at the Battle of Ludinum in Gaul. Following the consolidation of his rule over the western provinces, Severus waged another brief, more successful war in the east against the Parthian Empire, sacking their capital, Ctesiphon, in 197 AD and expanding the eastern frontier to the Tigris. He then enlarged and fortified the Lemes Arabicus in Arabia Petria. 202 AD, he campaigned in Africa and Mauritania against the Garamantes, capturing their capital, Garama, and expanded the Lemes Tripolitanus along the southern desert frontier of the empire. He proclaimed as Augustus co-emperors his elder son Caracalla in 198 and his younger son Geta 209, both born by his second wife Julia Domina. Severus traveled to Britain in 208, strengthening Hadrian's Wall and reoccupying the Antonine Wall. In 209, he invaded Caledonia in modern Scotland with an army of 50,000 men. With his ambitions were cut short when he fell fatally ill of an infectious disease in late 210. He died in early 211 at the Eboracum, today York, England, and was succeeded by his sons, who were advised by their mother and his powerful widow, Julia Domina, thus founding the Severan dynasty. It was the last dynasty of the Roman Empire before the crisis of the 3rd century. Yeah. All right. I believe that's enough. Cool. Get some coffee. This time I got Starbucks. All right, so today we talked about the Emperor Septimius Severus and the Arch of Septimius Severus. So as a review, we'll review the video for reinforcement purposes. So I'll catch you on the other side.
Containing a colossal statue of Constantine. The lateral forces of the groin vaults were held by flanking aisles measuring 23 by 17 meters. The aisles were spanned by 3 semicircular barreled vaults, perpendicular to the nave, and narrow arcades ran along parallel to the nave beneath the barrel vaults. The Arch of Septimius Severus at the northwest end of the Roman Forum is a white marble triumphal arch, dedicated in 203 AD to commemorate the Parthian victories of Emperor Septimius Severus and his 2 sons, Caracalla and Geta, in the 2 campaigns against the Parthians of 194-95 AD and 197-199. After the death of Septimius Severus, the sons Caracalla and Geta were initially joint emperors. Caracalla had Geta assassinated in 212. And Geta's memorials were destroyed.
All righty, well, welcome back. So if you'll catch me at, let me go ahead and turn this off. So the emperors. Catch me at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time for the Table Talk with Bob Colbert podcast. Yeah, today we're going to be kind of continuing the Super Bowl 58. The Kansas City Chiefs won that. So we did last week Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift and Andy Reid, and then the shooting of, unfortunately, the shooting that occurred at the parade. Today we're going to talk about Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback of the Chiefs, and his career. So yeah, so catch that at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time today. So I think I'll bring the podcast to a close, episode 16. So wherever you are on this planet, Earth, I hope you have a great Saturday or whatever the time is there. And we'll see you next week at 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time on the Portal Podcast with Bob Colbert. See you later, my friends. Take care.
What you do, you want to me, but I can't let it go so easily until I see what it could be. Could be eternity or just a week.